Hello nerds of the universe, and welcome to Nerd Talk. Today we're going to talk about The Mandalorian Season 3. So Season 1 and Season 2 of The Mandalorian were absolute masterpieces thanks to the directing team led by Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. But what if I told you that this next season of The Mandalorian would be its last? Okay nerds, let's get right into it. Now, if you haven't watched Mandalorian Season 1 and Season 2, then this video really isn't going to make much sense for you. So I highly recommend that you go and watch them before you watch this video. They are incredible. And this video will contain spoilers for Mandalorian Season 1 and Season 2, so this is your official warning. If you do not want spoilers, please click off of the video now. We good? Alright, let's get into it. So, Disney really disappointed the Star Wars community with its work on the sequels, but The Mandalorian flipped everybody's expectations upside down, and it's probably some of the best Star Wars media we've had in a very long time. And it's leaving many fans hopeful for the future of Star Wars. Now, the information that we have on The Mandalorian Season 3 is very limited, but I was scrolling through YouTube the other day, and I found this post by Star Force 1. So credit to him for finding this. The link to his channel will be in the description. He's absolutely awesome. I love his videos, and I really do think you should subscribe. Now, what you're seeing here is official concept art for The Mandalorian Season 3. And it looks like Boba Fett presenting Baby Yoda, or Grogu, if you like to use his real name, to other Mandalorians. And I think that this is a very heavy implication on what Season 3 of The Mandalorian is going to be about. We already know that Mandalorian Season 3 will partially focus on Din Djarin and Bo-Katan and their struggle over the Darksaber. Since Mando did fairly beat Moff Gideon in a one-on-one battle, that does make Mando the rightful ruler of Mandalore and its people. However, Bo-Katan feels that she is the rightful ruler of Mandalore, and Mando doesn't want to rule Mandalore anyway. But the Mandalorian Code requires them to honor the duel. The only way that Bo-Katan can reclaim Mandalore is if she fairly beats Mando in a one-on-one duel. But now, thanks to this official concept art for The Mandalorian Season 3, we do know that Grogu is not out of the picture. We also know that Mandalorian Season 3 will cross over with the Book of Boba Fett, Rangers of the New Republic, and the Ahsoka series. At the end of Mandalorian Season 2, Luke Skywalker did take Grogu to train him as a Jedi. But it seems that Luke Skywalker is going to be bringing him back for reasons we still don't know. But I also think that there's a good chance for this season of The Mandalorian to be the last season of The Mandalorian. Because, one, this concept art heavily implies that Grogu will become a Mandalorian at the end of the series. But two, the interesting part about this is that it's Boba Fett presenting Grogu to the Mandalorians. But Boba Fett does not really have a very defined relationship with Grogu, so shouldn't it be Din Djarin? Well, it should. And that's why my prediction is that he will either retire or die protecting Grogu. Now, if you watched my last two videos, you know how much I love killing off main characters. But it's also possible that Mando will just retire from the Mandalorian culture, go back to that swamp planet, and settle down with that swamp chick from Season 1. But the Mandalorian culture is something that Din holds very dear to him, and I do not think it's something that he would give up lightly. So I do think it's a lot more possible that he would die. Maybe it will be at the hands of Admiral Thrawn. We do know that the Ahsoka series will cross over with The Mandalorian, and that in the Ahsoka series, we will be getting a live-action Admiral Thrawn. And since it is clear that Moff Gideon is no match for Mando, Thrawn is probably our best bet. Thanks to Rebels, we do know that Admiral Thrawn is an expert strategist and a great martial artist, so that does make him a very good contender for being able to beat Din Djarin. But everything that I just said could have completely have been changed by now because of one major thing that has happened in Star Wars recently. And that, of course, would be the firing of Gina Carano. Now, for anybody who's been keeping up with this recent news, Gina Carano is the actress that played Cara Dune in the Mandalorian series. And she has recently been fired from Lucasfilm Entertainment because of some edgy posts that she made while on the team. And I think that this is a very important topic to talk about, but this subject has split the Star Wars community in a very negative way, and I really hate to see it that way. So before I give my opinion, I just want to make a few things clear. 1. Everybody has their own opinions about the Gina Carano situation. We should not be hating one another because of how we feel about the situation. Star Wars is something we could all live together, and it should be bringing us together, not tearing us apart. And on the other hand, anybody who is using this as a political slogan should really cut that out. It is a very unhealthy way to show who you support and which political party you are a part of, and it just makes a very bad name for yourself. And 2, I will leave my political views completely out of this situation. I want my channel to be a safe space for everyone, so I will not be revealing my political party nor my ideals. With that, let's get into it. So, do I think that Gina Carano deserved to be fired for the post that she made? My opinion is no, and here's why. I do understand that Disney has the right to fire whoever they want, and that people working for big companies like Disney really have to be wary of what they post. And if it was just Gina Carano who made these edgy posts, this would make complete sense. However, this is not the case. Allow me to explain. Gina Carano made a series of posts, but the one that led to her being fired was one about the Holocaust. In short, the post was saying that before Nazis invaded the rest of Europe and rounded up the Jewish people, that neighbor turned on neighbor because of their differing ideals, and that made it much easier for Nazis to imprison and torture the Jewish people. Her point was to say that today we see a lot of neighbors turning on neighbors because of different political ideals, and that we should be very wary of that. Now, I in no way agree with any Holocaust comparisons to modern-day issues. I think that they are uncalled for and make situations seem much worse than they are. The word Nazi is thrown out way too much these days, and nobody should be making Holocaust comparisons. The problem is, she is not the only member of the Mandalorian cast who has made a Holocaust comparison on social media. Pedro Pascal, the actor who plays the Mandalorian, made a comparison to children of illegal immigration being held in custody to Jewish children being held behind bars during the Holocaust. His social media post was completely ignored, while Gina's got publicized as a very public offense. This is the big thing I disagree with, because if she was the only one making these political posts, I completely understand it. When working with a big company, you have to be very careful about what you say, even if you're not a cast member. But it's important to know that Pedro Pascal and Gina Carano are on the opposite side of the political spectrum. They both represent different political parties, which means Disney might just be siding with their political party rather than stopping somebody from making a Holocaust comparison. Now, there's a lot more on this issue that I could talk about, but I don't want to get people riled up, so I'm just going to skip to the part where it affects the Star Wars media as a whole. And this is another reason why I disagree with Gina Carano getting fired. Jon Favreau, one of the lead writers and producers of The Mandalorian and upcoming Star Wars TV series, have already made her out to be a big character in The Mandalorian Season 3. And she was set to have her own show, or just be the star of a new existing show. Maybe the New Republic, Rangers of the New Republic, which she was supposed to be involved in. But after Jon Favreau had already written her into The Mandalorian Season 3 and into Rangers of the New Republic, Disney decided to fire her anyway. This reportedly made Jon Favreau furious, because he had spent so long writing all the scripts, and now he had to do a lot of rewrites that would waste valuable time. This, in my opinion, was just really bad timing on Disney's part. Jon Favreau had already finished writing a bunch of scripts and doing a whole lot of work, and Disney undid all of that by firing Gina. They could have at least waited a year or two to let The Mandalorian finish off, but again, I don't want to get into it too much because I don't think that it's my place to really be talking about this. If you guys really want me to talk about it more in detail, let me know in the comments below, because I would definitely be up to that. There are a lot of things that I think are interesting about the whole Gina Carano case that I do think we should talk about. But again, I will not be including any of my political bias in those conversations. But unfortunately, nerds, that's really all the information we have on The Mandalorian Season 3 so far. Unfortunately, Mandalorian Season 3 will not be coming out until 2022. Which is so terrible. I need more Mando. I need more Grogu. But with that, this episode of Nerd Talk has come to an end, fellow nerds. Next time on Nerd Talk, I'm planning on talking about the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, which I am so psyched for. It's going to be absolutely awesome. They're bringing back Ewan McGregor, Hayden Christensen. It's going to be absolutely incredible. And another thing, and this is a bit off topic, I know that right now Marvel is popping off with WandaVision being a huge success, and I do have a whole lot of theories about WandaVision. Unfortunately, I think I'm going to miss that train. I really want to focus on Star Wars right now, and I just don't think I'm going to be able to cover WandaVision till after it's too late. So congratulations, fellow nerds! You get a little mini theory at the end of this episode. This is a segment we like to call Tiny Theory. So here's my little WandaVision mini theory. Welcome to Tiny Talk. Spoilers if you haven't seen the recent episodes of WandaVision, and this is your official warning. Okay? Here we go. Mini theory, Tiny Talk. Even though I'm pretty confident that the big bad is going to be Mephisto, the Satan of the Marvel Universe, and that Agnes, or Agatha Harkness, is just his puppet, another possibility is the villain known as the Yellow Claw. Now, the Yellow Claw was a Marvel villain who was an evil sorcerer, was the power to influence and control the minds of others. What's even more interesting about him is that his chosen predecessor in the comics to be none other than the character by the name of Jimmy Woo, was already an established character in the MCU. Now, that might just be a coincidence or a little Easter egg, a little throwback to the comics, but is it also a coincidence that in the comics, Jimmy Woo became an FBI agent and went against the Yellow Claw's teachings? And our Jimmy Woo is also a member of the FBI and is already dabbling in some magical mysteries itself. And he's already becoming a much bigger character. Also, that book at the end of episode 7 of WandaVision is glowing yellow. And we see that everybody's magic has a very distinct color. Wanda has red, or scarlet, being that she's the Scarlet Witch. Agatha has purple. Monica Rambeau has blue. It would make sense for the Yellow Claw's color to be yellow. So yeah, that's my tiny talk. Hope you enjoyed it. But before you go, this is a very new channel, and this is only my 3rd video. So if you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button. It would really help out. We really need to get those numbers up quickly so that I can get the YouTube algorithm to notice me. These videos take a lot of time to edit, and me and my brother, who is editing these videos, put a lot of effort into it. So big shout out to my brother. He's done a great job editing these videos thus far. So please give me a like, comment down below about what you think, and I will see you nerds in the next video. Nerd out.